Start your engines!
Tuning up your work week. It's MRN Motorsports Monday, presented by Outback Steakhouse and brought to you by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. Warning, please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times and do not feed the host. Here's Woody Kane and Joey Meyer.
Welcome to the show. Woody Kane, Joey Meyer along with you. It is STP week as we head into Throwback week at Darlington Raceway, getting set for the Bojangles Southern 500. We've got the old-style throwback jerseys here from MRN. We got our old microphones back, the headphones back, and we saw some old-school racing on the track this weekend at both Road America and at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, which a lot of folks call Mosport.
It's like a comfortable pair of underwear.
Okay.
And shoes.
I was thinking like jeans, but you took it to a different level.
Having this microphone and headphones on from MRN
nice.
Radio, knowing the history of who possibly could have been talking into this microphone and wearing these headsets.
You don't know what kind of cooties are in that mic.
And that's fine.
Yeah,
you know, the Ned Jarrett's and then the past previous broadcasters here at MRN. It's pretty cool. Little throwback uniform, a whole build-up week for Darlington. And we had a little bit of rubbing and racing this weekend.
Yes, we did. You know, the only other thing we could have done is grow hair.
I'd do that if I could. It's not like I have a switch.
Okay, I veered off into the impossible now.
No, I would have done that if I could have. But wow, we've talked about road course racing on the show numerous times and how there are certain tracks that race better than others. We saw two good examples where if the Cup cars were to go there, one in Canada and one up in Road America, they would put on good shows because the racetrack allows it. There are multiple opportunities to pass. And also multiple opportunities that if you don't have an opportunity to pass, you can still get by the guy.
You can make it happen.
You can make it happen coming to the checker, which doesn't allow the other guy to get back at you until the next race. And in the meantime, you have the trophy, you've kissed the trophy girl, and you have the winner points. Your teammates may not be as happy with you as possible. But what an amazing event. Justin Allgaier is going to be on the show here a little bit later on, and he's become quite the king.
He's a road course ringer, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he a ringer? Or he's still he's just a road course.
I mean, he won two of the three. That's not too bad. And the other guy, one of those horrible Cup guys, won.
Yeah, and then the one he didn't win, he finished third, I believe. So
so he's
done
pretty
well. But what an amazing weekend. Again, if you watch Saturday or Sunday and listen to our guys on MRN, they put on a heck of a show. The excitement level was going on. The Xfinity race, we had a guy leading the race and blowing a motor. And that's a tragedy of running two races on a motor. That motor actually came from Joey's winning Xfinity car at Watkins Glen. It had some mileage on it and just had a part failure. That's going to happen. But Austin Cindric eventually is going to get one of these wins at these road courses.
He's a good road
very,
racer
very
as
good.
well.
And then we saw, again, the truck race was really not dominated by anybody, but it came down to the last lap pass. And then neither of the participants in the
the first or second place truck were the ones that got
the win, and Justin Haley was able to capture another
Thank you very much. I'll take it.
Sat in third and watched and went, okay, I'll take this.
This is kind of karmic payback for when he had the one taken away from him at where was it earlier? I've already forgotten.
Yeah, they all run together.
Daytona? No, it wasn't Daytona. No. Anyway, he goes below. It had to be a super speedway. It had to be Daytona to go below the yellow line.
Yep. And so he got that. He got the win. I believe his second win of the year. So kudos to those guys. GMS is on top. They're doing well. Johnny Sauter, again, I called it last week. I still believe he's going to be a champion unless something really tragic.
He led a chunk of that race.
He did, and that's so funny for Johnny Sauter to say, I can't drive road courses, and here I am leading this race. Look at me, I'm racing.
I mean, I know he got out front by strategy, but he held on to it for several laps as well, and there were some really good trucks behind him.
Well, Johnny's a good race car driver.
Yes, he is. Johnny's a racer's racer, no question about it.
One day he's going to make a name for himself.
I think he just might.
His family.
I think he just might. As Joey mentioned, Justin Allgaier wins the Xfinity race at Road America, his second road course victory of the year, his fourth overall win of the year. And since there was no Cup race, our friends at Plan B Sales have that Justin Allgaier car from his win at Road America, as well as all the race winning and other die-casts available for you. Just check them out at planbsales.com. I like the corn look on the front of it.
I hope it has the windshield wiper. I really hope it's a road road course car with the windshield wiper.
If it's going to be authentic, it
yes,
needs to have all the
windshield
detail on
wiper.
it. Yeah.
Like this microphone. That's about as authentic as you can get.
That is. Yeah. The only thing that we have don't have is a big screen.
Little Joey's a little sad, but he's not sad.
No bloomin' onion.
No bloomin' onion. So you have to go to Outback and just say, hey, I want a bloomin' onion, but at the end of the day, they make you pay for it, which is still pretty cool. They've given over 20 of these weeks away, so you can afford to have a bloomin' onion out of your own wallet.
They got some great steak and lobster specials going on right now, too, you should check out.
Yeah, a little prime cut sirloin. I get it.
Absolutely. Big show coming up for you today as well. We'll talk a little more about that controversial truck finish up at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, in which Todd Gilliland had the lead. Here comes his teammate Noah Gregson, who had won the first two stages. They get together in Haley Sales by for the victory. We'll talk with Justin Allgaier himself. He's going to be a guest on the program, on track, off track, and we'll look ahead to Darlington, where we've got the Bojangles Southern 500 coming up. A big preview there as we continue on STP Week right here on MRN Motorsports Monday.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
Are you a serious die-cast collector? Do you have a favorite driver? Are you looking for a gift for a race fan? No matter what the question, the answer is always PlanBSales.com. Plan B has all the latest in die-cast from Lionel and apparel, artwork, and other items for your favorite driver in NASCAR or other forms of racing. Go to PlanBSales.com, key your driver's name in the handy search window, and look at all the options. Your one-stop for die-cast and other motorsports collectibles is PlanBSales.com.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my feathers like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse. Blooming great.
Down to the inside goes Todd Gilliland. Right in his tire tracks is Noah Gregson.
Todd Gilliland trying to hold off teammate Noah Gregson for the final time in turn 10. He wiggles. Here comes Gregson to the inside. They make contact. They both spin off turn 10. Justin Haley diving to the inside. Another classic Canada finish. And Justin Haley has won the Chevrolet Silverado 250.
You see Justin Haley sailing by there to get the victory. He should have waved out the window and say, thanks, guys, and as he heads to the stripe and gets the checkered flag there. But a lot of controversy about, are they allowed to have a drama-free finish at Canadian Tire?
No, that's a race track. And racing happens, and Rubbin's racing. We all saw Days of Thunder back in the 80s. If you didn't, kids, look it up. Days of Thunder. Some guy named Tom Cruise is in it.
You can hold it.
Exactly. And the simple fact is rubbing is racing, and there was an opportunity there. One driver saw it, and the other driver wanted to take it away, and it didn't work out for either one of them. So
it's a situation where I think there are legitimate arguments to be made on both sides. Todd Gilliland said afterwards he was very upset and wanted to actually go and fight Noah, but knew he couldn't. Noah said he thought that Todd's spotter was going to tell him he was underneath him. We don't know if that happened or not, but regardless, it is a fantastic finish in terms of the action that track provided. And I don't think there's been one single year when we haven't had something like that on the last lap in Canada.
We've said it before, and I can repeat it. Racing is selfish.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very selfish sport. So when you have something, you're keeping it away. If I have it, I'm keeping it away from you. If I have it, you want it, you have to take it from me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we saw. We saw a very selfish act, but that makes great racing. We see an opportunity that's exposed by the Ford truck. We see an opportunity that's trying to be taken by the 18 truck, and both opportunities vanish away.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin Haley's able to have the opportunity literally handed to him in the lap. So kudos to those guys. He's not even on the gas. Justin Haley isn't.
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
knows
oh,
he's got it.
that was easy.
What just happened here?
So racing is selfish. I like that Todd was upset. I like that their crew chiefs are upset. I like that Noah said, I'm not taking all the blame for this.
There
And
was
that's
a clip
what you
earlier
like about
of
it.
where he didn't get a little consideration that he felt he was owed that was circulating around on social media earlier. So he and Todd have had some scrapes, shall we say, along the way. But this was certainly a drama-filled finish. This means, however, that Justin Haley punches his ticket to the next round of the playoffs. He doesn't have to worry about Las Vegas or Talladega. He knows he's going to round 2. Johnny Sauter still in a very strong position as the overall leader in the standings. Brett Moffitt right there as well. What a run he had, and he's one of the guys who describes himself as not very strong on the road courses, but he had a really good run yesterday. And then you've got Matt Crafton, Stuart Friesen, Ben Rhodes, and Grant Enfinger. Grant Enfinger went back to the front, I think, twice in that race, and then wound up getting shuffled out toward the end. So 6 guys will advance after round 1. The bottom 2 there, and maybe number 6, the spot you got to watch. That 6th spot is the final transfer spot.
Yeah, Brett Moffitt actually talked after the race. Their strategy worked really good to get playoff points in the first and second stage, but in doing so, it put him in the back of that third stage, and he was able to still march towards the front and finish third. But his truck was really fast, and it wasn't able to take advantage of the fact to get back to the lead because the last stage wasn't very long. But he was really fast during that event, but chose to take the first 2 stage points opportunities.
After the victory, our Kim Kuhn had a chance to speak with Justin Haley in Victory Lane.
Man, I knew those KBM guys were going to rough it up, especially Noah in there, and he wants to win just as bad as we all do. So I knew we were in the catbird seat, and I liked where I was. I liked learning up third there for that restart. Kind of had that plan. So got to give it to these guys. Hats off. We've been chasing this one for a long time in road courses, and finally got it done. So it's all them guys, not me.
You've solidified your spot in the round of 6 in the playoffs. What does that mean for this team in terms of the next 2 races? Can you take a little bit of a breather?
I don't know if we're going to take a break, but it's definitely going to be a lot less heavy breathing. We don't got to worry about it. Like I said, Vegas isn't our best track, but Dega we're good, and it's a wild card. So this is what we came here to do, and we accomplished our mission.
Interesting that now the trucks will be off for 3 weeks until they head to Las Vegas. Yeah. They got all this intensity built up and nowhere for it to go. It's just going to be like the air kind of seeping out of a balloon before they race again at Las Vegas.
Again, referencing Throwback, Days of Thunder. The guy that simulates being Mr. Franch sits down and says, "You guys are going to have dinner together."
I think he said, "You monkeys," didn't he?
Well,
that was the actual line in the movie at one point.
And made him drive together in the different cars, and they
was
drove.
That when they tore up the rental cars?
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
So I imagine in the next 3 weeks, I'm going to say Todd and Noah are going to be put in that position because the guy that owns the company. Kyle Busch Motorsports.
That's going to be kind of an interesting conversation.
Yeah, so
you've been in these meetings before. You've been in the debrief sessions. Do those sometimes get heated?
Yes, because something was taken or we were trying to take something away, right?
I mean, it's not like Robert's Rules of Order where everybody has the gavel and they speak in turn and all that, right?
No, I mean, when we had an issue several years ago at a race where we felt a teammate did something wrong, and we sit down and you try to work through it. What was your thought process? And nobody's going to come out and go, "Well, I really just wanted to screw you."
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
That doesn't happen that way. So it's really a bottom line of just being able to work through it, understanding the passion that your teammates have and all the crew members. Sometimes you do have to give up personal issues with the bigger picture of the team. Now, what Noah did was ruined a first and second place points day for KBM. For teammates, for the company. And sometimes, like a Mr. Penske would remind you, this is my company.
Yeah, and the crew chiefs were kind of not thrilled afterwards as well.
Yeah, so that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the emotion of the sport, the emotion of the teams, because something was taken and ripped away from them. From a company standpoint, it was a terrible decision. But as a race car driver, you want the passion with those guys that they see, and they're going to deal with it. They have 3 weeks until they're on track next.
As a fan, it was certainly compelling for sure. Let's do on-track, off-track quickly before we get Justin Allgaier on the line. For you, what is on-track this week?
On-track, we have to talk about it. We've already mentioned it. 2 road course racing, and it's a road course racetrack. It's not just a road course, and that's when we clamor for more road courses. We had Canada and we had Road America, 2 fantastic road courses.
Mid-Ohio was pretty good, too.
Exactly right. Watkins Glen, another great example. Those are good race tracks, not just road courses. And the road course, it matters to me. When we keep talking about road courses, we have to be careful because we have plenty of places that we have road courses, but they're not good racetracks. We saw two very good examples this weekend.
I agree. The road courses are spectacular, putting on great shows.
Yep.
They're compelling. The fans are eating it up. I think it's fantastic. Off track, what do you got?
A very unusual circumstance, and I actually don't want to give credit to the sponsor or the driver, but we had a sponsor with a newer driver in the sport that was going to come out and have a great opportunity at Road America this weekend. They found out something that his dad said derogatory 35 years ago and chose to take the name off the car.
Now, my understanding is they still paid the bills, but just took the decals
Correct.
off. Right.
Nobody knew about this until they made the announcement that they're taking the sponsor off the car. They actually brought the issue to the forefront.
Right. That's my point with it.
For something that happened 35 years ago. At what point in time, I mean, I'm 51, I'll be 52 years old. I will guarantee you, if you look back through my lifetime of 30 to 35 years, I've done
There's
some
a lot of skeletons in that closet.
There's stupid stuff because, I was 20, because I was 20, I was 17, I was 18, I was 19. Don't I get a bye at being 51? I'm a pretty decent person now. I still have some flaws. I have no hair, I get. But my flaws are exposed.
That's out of your control, by the way.
But 20 years ago, 30 years ago, this happened over 30 years ago. I think that was a little crazy from a sponsor standpoint.
I don't disagree with you. I think this happened before the driver was even born. The other thing is, from a logistics standpoint, the goal was to not be captured in that controversy surrounding the statements from 30 years ago or whatever it was. However, by doing it the way that they did, all they did was make that controversy come up even worse. So they didn't. Not only did they not avoid it, they said, "Hey, look!" And it made it even worse.
When I go get a job and I sit down for a job interview, you don't go through my parents' records.
Right.
It's a job interview. It's a job interview for the guy you're interviewing. I really thought they dug deep for a reasoning that, again, all it did was bring the issue to the forefront, and nobody would have known about this. Very bad decision on that sponsor's part.
I agree with you 100%. Quick break here on Motorsports Monday. When we come back, we'll talk some Xfinity racing as the road ringer, Justin Allgaier, joins us.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse, blooming great.
I'm former crew chief and STP auto expert Steve Letarte. Does your engine feel like it's down on power? It could be caused by deposits on fuel injectors, engine valves, and combustion chambers. An easy way to help clean up your fuel system and restore lost power is through the gas tank with STP Ultra 5-in-1 Fuel System Cleaner. One bottle contains 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus the leading premium gasoline to help keep your engine running strong. STP, inside every great machine.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents and 35 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
Chris Crockett here with another member of our Toyota racing family. Reggie, you've taken tailgating to new places. You've converted the school bus into a giant brisket smoker?
Yeah, it's table stakes, Chris. Oh, you see that? That's my lookout tower, so I can see Kyle Busch taking the lead.
Wow, what's the gauge for?
That's for the tailgaters.
Oh yeah, that's a real alligator. NASCAR and Toyota Racing. With a family like this, who knows the places we'll go as things heat up this summer. Learn more at toyotaracing.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
A perfect afternoon for Justin Allgaier. The last time through turn number 13, that was perfect. One more turn for Justin Allgaier, and that is turn number 14. The right-hander, he's through it. Justin Allgaier, all by himself, headed to the start-finish line.
Here he comes for the final time out of turn 14. He'll swing it wide onto the rumble strips. Now he'll climb the hill. Justin Allgaier going back-to-back on road courses. Takes the checkered flag, and he'll win the Johnsonville 180.
I just love that track. Road America is so cool. It's a great experience to go there. Justin Allgaier gets his second victory. You see him running over to give a hug to his wife and his little girl after the race. That track is so much fun, but he wins 2 of the 3 road races in the Xfinity Series. That's large.
Track is amazing, and I think another guy would agree with us.
Yeah, he would, and he's on the guest line now. Justin Allgaier joins us on the guest line. Justin, congratulations, man. When did you become a road course ringer?
I don't know that I am yet. I'll be honest with you. I think just being in the right place at the right time and obviously driving good race cars is a big deal. But on the flip side of it too, I think management, that's been the biggest thing for me on these road races is managing the race, trying to make sure that you got 4 fenders and 4 tires and good brakes on the car when the races are over. And I think that is really a big difference maker for me, especially here of late.
Justin, one of the things as we look at every racetrack, we say, well, we have good cars, we have good crews, but there are certain racetracks that are more in the hands of the driver. And last year we saw Jeremy Clemens drive to victory in an underfunded team, and Jeremy got a lot of the credit. So far in 2018, you have 2 first-place finishes, and you had a really bad race with a 3rd-place finish. I don't know what happened there. We're going to have to really clean it up. So you didn't luck into 3 really good top 3 finishes. You've taken some effort. What exactly have you done in 2018, even at the end of 2017, to get your road course racing better?
Yeah, I think it's just everything. I think the one thing about road racing is the discipline of road racing. Understanding how to road race well and effectively is so different of what we do on a regular basis on the oval side. And I think that, for me, all of the things that I'm really bad at on ovals, all the things that I tend to have bad habits of on an oval, make road racing for me even worse because, they're kind of the one and the same, right? It's the things that I struggle with on an oval are things that I make my road racing even worse. So for me, it's been about trying to really focus in on learning how to do that better. Trying to learn. Ron Fellows has been a great teacher for me. Somebody that I've gone out to his school out in Spring Mountain. Out near Las Vegas and really tried to soak up whatever information I can soak up from those guys. And iRacing, I do a lot of iRacing on the road courses that we go to because I think that's super important. And then just watching videos. Watching good road racers get around a racetrack is something that, I really think makes a big difference. And for me, I've just tried to learn as much as I can.
Justin, now we get down to the nitty-gritty. 3 races to go before the playoff field is set. You're in really good shape. Darlington coming up this week. If you run at Darlington and don't have a stripe on your car, have you really run at Darlington?
Yes, I do. I think so. I think you can manage Darlington well and run fast there and not hit the wall. It is challenging, don't get me wrong. But, I think – the Xfinity race especially, because it's a lot shorter than obviously the Cup race is, your ambition to want to be fast kind of takes over sometimes, and you throw caution to the wind because the race is so much shorter, and you put yourself in a bad position. So, I think from my standpoint as a driver, that's one of those places where, obviously we've done a great job on the regular season points so far. We've put ourselves back in position to be up at the top. And for the bonus points that come with that when we get to the playoffs, that's huge. So I can't go to Darlington and say, hey, we're just going to lay up and ride. But also too at the same time, I want to be cautiously aggressive. Go there and do my job and to be fast, but to make sure that I got a race car that's there when the race is over. So a lot like the road races, I think Darlington is all about management, making sure that you put yourself in good position at the end.
Justin, one of the things we do on Mondays after victories is we take our teams to lunch, or you celebrate victory lane and you talk about the trophy, but you have to move forward, and we have 3 more races, Darlington, Indy, and Vegas before your playoff starts hunt, and then you have the 7 races to try to get to Homestead. It's easy to build on positives. It's difficult to identify the negatives. Moving forward till now to Homestead, what's the one weak link you think you need to improve on to get to Homestead, win a championship?
Well, I agree with you 100%. I think riding momentum is a good thing, but I think that it's equally as difficult or challenging to manage those bad days and not get yourself kind of down in the dumps and behind. I think for us, the weaknesses are just execution, and not necessarily from a team standpoint even, but just from an entire weekend standpoint. I've done a bad job this year at a few races of putting myself in bad positions, and it's hurt us tremendously. I think about 5 or 6 races ago, we were like 55 or 57 points back of the lead in regular season championship points, and now we're the leader. So, I know we have the speed, I know we have the cars, but just managing the weekend. When you show up, if you don't necessarily feel like you're as fast as you want to be right off the truck, that's no big deal. You keep working on it, and that's the thing that I love about our 7 team is the never give up attitude. The fact that our guys will rally behind every circumstance, good, bad, or indifferent. And I think that for us, it's going to be not losing sight of that and knowing that we've got the speed and we've got the team to be capable of running. Not only good on the road courses, but we've run well at every racetrack that I can think of this year. I've had more top 10s than I've ever had in my career up to this point. We still got a lot of races to go. I've led more laps in this season alone than I've ever led in a single season. So all of those things together really, from my standpoint, you've got to focus on the positives and how much speed you got, or it's really easy to say, hey, you know what, we're going to get a little bit behind, and one bad weekend can turn into 2 or 3 real easy.
There you go. Justin Allgaier has put the Brandt Chevrolet at Junior Motorsports in victory lane 4 times this year and now leads the standings. They get ready to go to Darlington this weekend. Justin, we know you have another commitment. We appreciate you making some time for us. Good luck, and we'll see you at Darlington.
Sounds good, guys. As always, thanks for having me on.
Good job, Justin.
Hopefully we can keep having these conversations on a Monday after a win.
Absolutely. Let's keep it rolling. Absolutely. Thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. Justin Allgaier. He and Christopher Bell, 4 victories on the season. Tyler Reddick with 1. Those are the only Xfinity regulars to make it to victory lane so far this season.
5 playoff points separate Christopher Bell and Justin Allgaier with the same number of wins, and that's why he has to keep going forward and trying to gain those stage points and the wins and everything to try to. So when we recalculate the playoff points here in 3 weeks after the Xfinity regular season is over, Justin doesn't want to be second like he is now. Even though he's leading the regular season points, which has a really cool trophy with it, that's awesome idea, he wants to be the leader going into the playoffs because that's just you lead better than trying to chase somebody.
Have he and Bell separated themselves well away from the rest of this field, or is there a dark horse we might want to watch in terms of racing for a championship here?
I still believe Elliott Sadler, his last year, the experience, obviously Junior Motorsports has really good cars. He's the most experienced one. Christopher Bell, still surprisingly, but he's a rookie, don't forget. So I'm not saying he's going to make a mistake, but if he does, he has next year to recover from it because he's going to run Xfinity next year. So I believe the leadership of Elliott Sadler and the experience, it'll come down between him and Justin Allgaier, I believe, in Homestead.
All right. Who's the 4th guy?
Wow.
Let's go one step further. You put your crystal ball.
There's not a kid under Elliott Sadler that I believe can buy beer.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the youngsters.
I think Hemrick can he? Isn't Hemrick a couple of years older?
He might be low 20s, but I'm saying there's a very, very young crowd. So when those 2 rise to the top, I really believe it's going to come down to Elliott Sadler, Justin Allgaier, Christopher Bell, and anybody else you want to put in that group.
You pick them after that.
Yeah. One of the things that we're doing, we have a little bit of throwback here. Back in 1953, a product was called Scientifically Treated Petroleum.
Scientifically Treated Petroleum.
You know what that was?
I think I do.
Yeah, STP. And if you're looking for more power under your hood, start at the gas tank with STP Ultra 5-in-1 Fuel System Cleaner. It's called STP, inside every great machine.
Fantastic. It kicks off STP week here at the Motor Racing Network. All kinds of special programming all week long. Check out MRN.com to keep up with it. Another break here on Motorsports Monday, and we'll continue to look ahead at Darlington after this.
I'm former crew chief and STP auto expert Steve Letarte. Does your engine feel like it's down on power? It could be caused by deposits on fuel injectors, engine valves, and combustion chambers. An easy way to help clean up your fuel system and restore lost power is through the gas tank with STP Ultra 5-in-1 Fuel System Cleaner. One bottle contains 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus the leading premium gasoline to help keep your engine running strong. STP, inside every great machine.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents and 35 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo! onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse, blooming great.
Chris Crockett here with another member of our Toyota racing family. Reggie, you've taken tailgating to new places. You've converted the school bus into a giant brisket smoker?
It's table stakes, Chris. Oh, you see that? That's my lookout tower, so I can see Kyle Busch taking the lead.
Wow, what's the cage for?
That's for the tailgaters.
Oh yeah, that's a real alligator. NASCAR and Toyota Racing. With a family like this, who knows the places we'll go as things heat up this summer? Learn more at toyotaracing.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
Those who can do, those who can't, host a web show. It's Motorsports Monday with Joey Meyer and Woody Kane.
Jason Toy bringing us back here, and I thought he liked us. I just worked with Jason in Canada this week. You know, his kid had his first football game this past week, and he got to broadcast it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
something. That's a memory you
Down
can never
the
get rid
sidelines
of.
they go.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Darlington, what can we look for there? It's a tough track. It's very different, uniquely shaped one into the other.
Lady in Black, you have to. It's one of those tracks that egg-shaped. It has a great history back in the 1950s. One of our fastest racetracks, one of our oldest racetracks. You mentioned it to Justin Allgaier. We have the Cup Series and Xfinity Series. They're going to try to get as close to the wall as possible down in turns 1 and 2. The interesting aspect is 3 and 4 is actually a lot wider. Guys will run on the apron, literally on the flat of the apron, to get through that corner because it's such a tight corner instead of running up high. So 3 and 4 offers a lot of opportunities to pass. If you're really good, you can pull down through turns 1 and 2 and get under somebody, but you better make the pass before exiting, because if you don't, the corner tightens so much that you have to get out of the gas.
It'll throw you toward the wall.
The guy outside already has the lane established, which we saw earlier this weekend.
How'd that work out in the truck series?
Right? So having the lane established doesn't necessarily mean it's yours, but the Darlington track is fantastic. It's a great racetrack. If anybody doesn't like Darlington, they really don't like good racetrack.
It's fantastic. All season long, we've been working with the guys at JTG Doherty Racing. That is A.J. Allmendinger and Chris Buescher, and we asked them about racing at Darlington as well. If you leave Darlington without a Darlington stripe, have you actually raced there?
I don't know. I've never done that. So Darlington, although Sonoma right now would say that I do have the worst stats at Sonoma, Darlington's probably my worst racetrack. So
why is it so tough?
I mean, isn't that the name? I mean, it's too tough to tame. So I don't know. I mean, I've never really had a good feel around there. At times I've had some decent cars where I feel half decent, but I've never thought like, oh, nailed it. So I make sure I get a stripe usually pretty early, and maybe I should just go knock it down in practice. Like, although I did that my first year, so that didn't work out very well either. You know what, Woody? I don't know. I'm gonna. It's one of those special racetracks because all the history behind it. But I've never been very good there, so we're gonna try to change it up this year.
So yeah, for Darlington, our throwback, we got Busch's best since 1908 is the paint scheme. It's a throwback to 110 years with Busch's. It's a good-looking car. Looks like their original cans. A lot like we've done with the paint scheme this year. Has been brought up to date to look like their current cans and get a lot of those colors intermingled in. So, car looks really good. Pretty cool to be able to be a part of that throwback week and have something going on. It's pretty important that you do now, or you really miss the boat. It's such an awesome week, and so much cool stuff comes out, and it's hard to figure out who you're racing most of the time.
Great marketing opportunity. You guys have a throwback scheme as well. I love looking at all the paint schemes.
It's really when we talk about throwback, for those of you that are completely, what are we throwing back? It's really to show respect from our past history in different levels, and every team can do it in their own way. We have a old Rusty Wallace style paint scheme. As we heard Chris Buescher talked about, an old style Busch Beans can or sponsor that they had back from 100 years ago to respect the history of the sport. A lot of different paint schemes, a lot of different attire. We have the old
I like it
MRN.
when the crew guys get into the old school stuff.
For those of you that are listening to the show right now, we are wearing our old headsets and our old microphones, which still sound incredibly clear and crystal. That's the way the race cars are going to be, just beautiful paint schemes.
At first.
Things that at first. Things that you've used to seen back 20, 30 years ago, possibly on old paint cars. It's just a really cool weekend to be back at Darlington. And, again, the racing for the next 2 days for Saturday and Sunday is really good as well.
Going to be fantastic. Are you working the Xfinity race?
It'll be Brad's last Xfinity race in the 22 car, and then we'll do the Cup Series on Sunday.
Are you guys doing an Xfinity throwback? Or
I don't know that. I don't have any idea. It's a good
some
question.
are and some aren't.
Yes.
I know in the Xfinity Series, it's not as predominant as it is in Cup.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got a big week coming up for you here on the Motor Racing Network. It is STP week. We're going to have all kinds of special programming. Check MRN.com to keep up with that. I just found out I'll be hosting NASCAR Live this week. That's Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Saturday, we've got the Xfinity Series. That comes your way at 3 Eastern Time. Sunday, the Bojangles Southern 500 comes your way at 5 o'clock Eastern Time Sunday evening. Make sure you're here for all those programs right here on the Motor Racing Network. I'm Woody. He's Joey. We'll see you right back here next week for another edition of MRN Motorsports Monday.